practice, no more delivery. Again, athletes, you are responsible for writing your scores down at the conclusion of each game and turning in your recap sheets to the tournament office. As a courtesy to the other competitors, as you finish your game and move lanes, please allow the pair you're moving to time to complete their game before going into the bowling area. Please be aware when it is your turn to bowl. No slow bowling today. And to take all your equipment with you when you move lanes. Spectators, no plastic pocket is allowed during the event, and athletes only are to be in the section area. Now let's give these athletes a round of applause as they begin their final round of tournament competition. Good luck to all of you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our live coverage of the 2015 USBC Team USA Trials here on Bowl TV, getting ready for the first shots in women's round 5. Final round of competition for the women. They are bowling on the longest pattern of the week, 45-foot Mexico City. And we kick things off with Emily Eckhoff over on the 19. Also Taylor Bluthus, Elise Bolton, and Brooke Wood on that pair. On 17 and 18, we have Kayla Bandy, Sierra Kanimoto, Amanda Van Dunn, and Gabriella Mayfield. You can find the results and standings at bowl.com/Team USA Trials. Go over for you what the situation is for today here in the final round. All of the bowlers earn points based on their finish in each round, and so we only have one round left, which means this is the last opportunity to improve upon your score. Basically, the 3 players with the fewest points will advance into the stepladder finals tonight. And coming into today, it's pretty close. Danielle McEwen leading with 25 points. Brianna Caldwell is second with 42. Liz Johnson is third with 43 points. Shannon Plahowski has 45 points. Missy Parkin has 46. Katie Sutphin 52, and Brittany Hamilton 57. So I think that those are probably going to be the 7 players to watch today. And the situation for Danielle McEwen, who has a pretty big lead actually, is if Danielle can finish in the top 20 today, she's guaranteed a spot in the finals. She just has to finish 20th or higher. Because if she finished 20th, that would give her 45 points, which would guarantee her no worse than 3rd place. A little different scenario for the rest of the players behind her, as it's very tightly compacted. Only, let's see here, 4 points separates 2nd from 5th, and 15 points separates 2nd from 7th. And the good news is that in the final game today, the way that the lane assignments have worked out, we should have the top 8 players in the standings on our feature pairs for the last game, which hopefully will make things pretty exciting. 6 games today on the 45-foot Mexico City pattern, longest pattern of the week, and maybe one of the toughest patterns of the week. Mexico City usually plays pretty tough. We'll have to see how it goes here today. But again, Game 6 is the game that we'll be looking forward to, as that is the game where we will have the top 8 bowlers in the field on the featured pairs for that last game, as they will make a run to try to get into the top 3. So I said that Danielle McEwen needs to finish 20th or higher, and she will be guaranteed a spot. For Brianna Caldwell, who's in second at 42 points, her magic number would be 3 or higher. She has finished 3rd or higher. And for Liz Johnson, it would be 2nd or higher. So if Liz Johnson finishes 1st or 2nd today, she's in for sure. If Brianna Caldwell finishes 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, she's in for sure. And again, Danielle McEwen needs to finish 20th or higher, and she's got a spot in the finals tonight. Finals are this evening, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Men and women finals going on this evening, along with the announcement of all the Team USA and Junior Team USA selections. That'll be coming up all this evening. You'll be able to watch it right here live on Bowl TV. There's an event created on our USBC Facebook page if you'd like to go and RSVP for the event. That'll also help send you a reminder once it gets a little bit closer. Just go to facebook.com/USBC. Should be the first thing you see listed. You're watching live coverage of the 2015 USBC Team USA trials here on Bull TV. A couple of frames to go here in our opening game. Bowling on Mexico City today, 45 feet. Looks like Danielle McEwen has the front 10 this game. So I'm going to run down there in just a moment. Check that out. Josie Ernest with the front 9 on lane 11. Well, we have our first 300 on the women's side. Danielle McEwen busts through with a 300 here in game 1. We still have a chance for another as Josie Ernest has the front 9. Josie on lane 11. So we said that Danielle McEwen just has to finish 20th or higher today to guarantee her spot in the finals. What a good way to loosen up the arm swing and take a little bit of the pressure off. Shoot 300 first game. Give her a nice cushion going into the last 5 games of this round. She is on her way, it seems like, to the finals tonight. Well, looks like Josie got 7 on her first shot in the 10th. But we've already had 300 this morning. Danielle McEwen. Perfect game here in game number 1. Get the video up on the Facebook page here for you in just a little bit. Good games on the featured pairs here. Amanda Van Dunn, 244. Taylor Bluthus, 241. So a couple of good games there. And some other kind of real close to the plus number games here. Kayla Bandy at 201. Emily Eckhoff at 191. Once again, game number 6. We're going to have the top 8 in the standings coming into today in the overall standings. And that'll include Danielle McEwen, who just shot 300 first game. Well, I was going to talk a little bit about the Junior Team USA situation before got distracted by Danielle's 300 game. But the top 2 bowlers that are age eligible will earn automatic spots on Junior Team USA here this week. And it looks like coming into today, Sydney Brummett in 22nd place would be the high youth bowler not already on Junior Team USA. And J.D. Scott Jones in 25th place would be in second. Sydney Brummett 126 points, J.D. Scott Jones 130 points. Next would be Jasmine Mason at 136, and then Sierra Kanimoto at 139, Amanda Van Dunn at 146, Emily Eckhoff at 152. So we had a few of those bowlers on the featured pairs here this first game. And when you look at the overall standings, there's a column that says class. If it says JR, that means they're already on Junior Team USA. And if it says Y, that means they're a youth bowler eligible for Junior Team USA. All right, game number 2 getting started here. We've got Kaylin Carl, Alicia Current, Carrie Smith, and Julia Bond on 17 and 18. We're at 19 and 20. Aaron McCarthy, Ashley Galante, Samantha Kelly, and recently named PWBA spokesperson Kelly Kulik. If you're just tuning in, you're watching live coverage of the 2015 USBC Team USA Trials here on Bolt TV. Danielle McEwen with a perfect game in Game 1, and she has started with the front 3 in Game 2. Well, I say, as long as Danielle McEwen's striking, let's try to show her a little bit here. I put the jinx on her, didn't I? 300 first game. Started with the front 3, just left the, looks like the 5-8. Just happens to be to the right of our featured pairs. But there's your tournament leader right there, Danielle McEwen. Leading coming into today and shot 300. First game today. So the last game today for the women, we'll have Danielle McEwen, Brianna Caldwell, Liz Johnson, Shannon Plahowski, Missy Parkin, Katie Sutphin, Brittany Hamilton, and Ashley Rucker on the featured pairs for game number 6. At least that's what I'm told. So look at Shannon Plahowski. There's Liz Johnson right next to her. New Hall of Famer, just inducted into the USBC, or elected into the USBC Hall of Fame. And actually the induction will be in April. Well, as we mentioned, Danielle McEwen with 300 first game. Josie Ernest 277. Kelly Belzinski, Baleski 268. Shannon Plahowski 256 and Taryn Gray 254. The overall standings, a real jumbled mess right now. Danielle McEwen obviously in first, pretty solid, I would say. Shannon Plahowski is in second. So right now Danielle's got 26 points. Plahowski would have 49. Liz Johnson would have 63. Missy Parkin 67. And then Brittany Hamilton 92. Brianna Caldwell 92. Brittany in 35th place after the first game. Brianna in 50th. But we can't read too much into that because we've still got a long way to go. And actually Brianna Caldwell is bowling pretty well this game. See if we can get you a look at Brianna in just a second. There's Brianna Caldwell. She is strike, spare, triple to start this game. Trips out the 4 for the strike. It's our group of leaders right over there on 21 and 22, 23 and 24. There's Danielle McEwen. Shot 300 game 1, leading, has led all the way through. Finished first the first day, first the second day. Been in cruise control since. Almost 710. Frames to go here in game 2, round number 5 for the women. Standings from the first game are updated. Bull.com/Team USA Trials if you'd like to check them out. Give you a look at Danielle McEwen again, our tournament leader, bowling just to the right of our featured pairs. There's a strike for Danielle. It's our leading group right there. Top 8 in the standings. Going to be coming up on the featured pairs for game number 6 later on today. Well, we bowled on a different pattern every day leading up to today. And our final pattern this week is the Mexico City pattern, 45 feet. Pretty tough pattern, even though Danielle shot 300 first game, but Danielle tends to make just about every pattern look easy. And tonight, the top 3 women and the top 3 men will advance into the stepladder finals. And we'll have it for you live here on Bowl TV at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And when we get to that point, the higher seed in each match will get to pick the pattern. So the semifinal is number 2 versus number 3. The number 2 ranked player gets to pick the pattern. And they have to pick from the 5 that were used this week. And then in the championship match, the top seed gets to pick the pattern. So definitely some advantage to being first or second. Certainly the way things are going, looks like Danielle McEwen is going to be a solid first place, or top seed I should say, heading into our stepladder. But it's definitely very much up in the air as to who else is going to advance into the semifinal and the final tonight. The men are going to be coming up a little bit later on today. They are scheduled to start at about 12:45 p.m. local time here in Las Vegas. My guess is it'll be closer to about 1 o'clock. The reason is we're using the 45-foot Mexico City pattern today Actually takes longer to oil the lanes when you've got a long pattern. And this is the longest pattern of the week, so they estimate it's going to take an extra 10 to 12 minutes to oil the lanes for the men this afternoon. So maybe closer to 1 o'clock when the men start this afternoon, local time here. Danielle getting ready to bowl her 10th frame, so it's going to be our last chance to have a look at our tournament leader until the last game. So we'll take a look over there at that pair right next door to our live stream. Nice shot by Danielle McEwen. Take a look at the scoreboard here for that lane. Let's see Danielle. Can shoot 234 this game. Brianna Caldwell, only a big game after a 192 start. She can get to 259. Danielle McEwen, second shot in the 10th. Gets 7 on that one, so she'll be in the 220s this game. 221 is her max now. It's not been a great game for Liz Johnson right next door to her. Liz can only max at 172. She's just got 1 shot to go here. Only has 2 strikes the entire game. Liz Johnson with 172. Transitioning into game number 3. Should be getting started here momentarily. At 17 and 18 is going to be Marina Stever, Natalie Goodman, Holly Zink, and Natalie Koperitz. Still waiting to see who we're going to have on 19 and 20. Samantha Gaynor, Dan and Terry, Christina Kimmer, and Ashlyn Hersberg coming up on 19 and 20 for game 3. So our players at the top of the standings have moved away, but they'll be back for the final game today. You can follow them on the online scoring. Go to bull.com/Team USA Trials, click on results, and you'll find the live scoring link. Our top 4 pair is on 35 and 36 here for Game 3. If you would like to follow them on the scoring. As soon as we get the updated standings after that second game, we will let you know. Should be coming in pretty soon. Once again, we're in game 3 of 6 here at the Team USA Trials, round number 5, final round for the women. Top 3 will advance into the stepladder tonight, starting at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Bold TV. Looks like we have updated standings coming in. Danielle McEwen still in the lead at 521. Taryn Gray, second place for the day at 479. Shannon Plahowski, 476. Taylor Bluthus, 456. Samantha Kelly, 453. Looking at the ranking points, taking a snapshot after 2 games for the round 5 points. Danielle McEwen 26 points, Shannon Plahowski 48, Brianna Caldwell at 58, Missy Parkin at 67, and Brittany Hamilton at 83. So it was really, really close coming into the day, but it's just a big change since we started round 5. But right now, Danielle McEwen is in very solid position to make it into the stepladder finals tonight. And we'll just have to wait and see who is going to join her this evening. Danielle double spare triple to start this third game down on lane 35. Ashlyn Herzberg with the front 6 on our featured pairs here. As we are approaching the halfway point of round 5 for the women. Again, the men are going to be coming up probably around 1 o'clock Pacific time today. Well, a nice run by Ashlyn Herzberg comes to an end with that 7 pin. Just finishing up game number 3, going to take us to the halfway point of round 5. 3 games to go in the tournament for women's qualifying. Top 3 bowlers in the point standings are going to advance to the stepladder finals tonight. And we will have the top 8 bowlers in the field here on Bowl TV for the final game here this morning.
What was that? Well, I'm outside. I couldn't carry. So, not much you can do about that. Yeah. Night and day.
Danielle McEwen finishes with 244. Puts her at 765 for the first 3 games today. So she's going to be able to just cruise right to the top seed, it looks like, for the stepladder tonight. Game 4 coming up here in just a moment. Again, the top 8 players in the tournament coming into today will be on the featured pairs in Game 6. So just a couple of games away from that. And so Amanda Fry, Carly Thomas, Kendall Dillinger, and Crystal Elliott getting ready to start on 17 and 18. Men are going to start probably around 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 o'clock Eastern today. Don't forget to tune in tonight for the stepladder finals for the men and the women. Top 3 in each division advancing, taking place at 7 p.m. Pacific tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. Immediately following, we'll have the announcement of all of the selections for Team USA and Junior Team USA. And I would guess the whole thing should take no more than 2 hours. The bowling should take about an hour and a half maximum. So we won't keep you up too late tonight. Over on 19 and 20, Shauna Lane Strauss, Christina Halen, Lauren Pate, and Nicole McCallion. Three games to go. We're halfway through round 5. And once again, game 6, we're going to feature the top 8 players in the standings coming into today. It's going to be Danielle McEwen, Brianna Caldwell, Liz Johnson, Shannon Pluhowski, Missy Parkin, Katie Sutphin, Brittany Hamilton, and Ashley Rucker going to be on the featured pairs for Game 6 today. did have our first 300 game in the women's division this morning. If you missed it, Danielle McEwen, no surprise there, right? She's been leading the whole tournament. Pulled 300 earlier today in game number 1 and caught the last shot, and it's on our USBC Facebook page, facebook.com/USBC, if you'd like to check out that final shot. following the live scoring, you can go to 49 and 50. That's where the top 4 coming into today are bowling right now. Liz Johnson down there has the front 4. And she looks like she's starting to make her run down the stretch here. Just a couple of games to go after this one to finalize things here in the women's division. Liz Johnson, front 5 now, down on lane 50. If you're watching on the live scoring, that's our leaders pair. Should have standings here, and we do. Danielle McEwen at 765 as expected, still leading. Alicia Current 708, Natalie Goodman at 680, Taryn Gray 674, Shannon Plahowski at 661. That's just for today. Overall standings with 3 games to go. Looking at the points list, Danielle McEwen at 26, Shannon Plahowski at 50. Brianna Caldwell at 53 and Liz Johnson at 64. Liz currently in 21st place, but looking to make a big move here in this game as she has the front 5. If she were to jump up 15 spots, she could potentially move up to 2nd. So we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. The overall standings change each game with the points changing for round 5. Round 5 points are not set until after game 6.
Liz Johnson now with the front 7.
2 more games to go after this one. In our final round here at the Team USA Trials for the women. Once again, the men are going to be coming up this afternoon, a little less than 3 hours from now. And our stepladder finals tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern here on Bowl TV. And remember, Game 6, I've said it a few times, but worth repeating, Game 6, top 8 in the standings coming into today are going to be on the featured pairs for Game 6.
Right when you walk in the door. On the table. Red bag.
Underway with Game 5. Rebecca Slipinski, Holly Harris, Brianna Amadon, and Nicole Parkhurst on 17 and 18. 19 and 20. Going to be getting started here in just a moment. Mary Wells, Megan Kelly, Kimmy Davidson, and Brianna Zabarek. And this is Game 5. Game 6, our final game, will feature the top 8 in the standings coming into today, so that should be pretty interesting. So make sure you stand by for that coming up, probably in about 35-40 minutes. So our second to last game in progress here at the Orleans Bowling Center in Las Vegas. It's going to be a bit before we get the standings. There's still some bowlers finishing game number 4 down on the high end of the bowling center. So once they get finished up, we'll get the standings after 4 games. So if you're following the online scoring, the leaders are on 63 and 64 this game. And they'll be moving to 17 and 18 for the last game. It'll actually be pretty interesting because the leaders are following pairs that are bowling pretty quick, and so they're a bit ahead of a lot of the other pairs, which means that we probably won't have Game 5 standings until close to when they finish. So it's going to be real tough to tell what's going to happen in that last game. But at least we'll get to see the top bowlers. We'll have somewhat of an idea, because by then we'll have the 4th game standings for sure. We should get those 4th game standings pretty soon. They're still finishing the 10th frame down on 57, 55, and 57. Well, things not going so well for Liz Johnson this game, down on 64. She bowled 243 last game. She sits at plus 55 for the day, but only 92 in the fifth, and she's got a split in the sixth. Caldwell had 216, and she's gone spare, double, spare, strike this game. Game 5, just a couple of frames to go, and then we'll be gearing up for our final game with the top 8 in the standings coming into today. Just a few minutes away from the start of that last game, and inching closer to find out who's going to be in the stepladder tonight. You'll be able to watch the stepladder right here on Bull TV at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, men and women this evening. All right, updated standings for today. Danielle McEwen at 975, Alicia Current 965, Shannon Plahowski at 896, Natalie Goodman 859, and Ashley Guante and Liz Johnson both at 855. So Liz moved up a pretty big amount there that game. She goes from 21st to 5th in one game. And now it is Danielle McEwen at 26 points. You've got Shannon Plahowski at 48. And you have Liz Johnson at 48. That tie broken by pinfall. Shannon's got about 105 pins more than Liz. And then Brianna Caldwell is 4th at 50 points. Brianna sitting in 8th today. And then Missy Parkin at 76 points, Brittany Hamilton at 78. But things could get a bit messy again if Liz doesn't pull out a good game here. She could drop a bit and add some more points to her total potentially. But remember that round 5 point total changes every game. It's not set until the end of the block. So you're just seeing kind of a moving picture if we take a snapshot. But it's constantly moving every game. So those numbers change quite a bit. Like Liz went from 21st to 5th that last game, which knocked 16 points off her total. Well, Liz Johnson's going to be under 200 this game. Her max is 199 going into the 10th, down on lane 64. McEwen can strike out for 221. Brianna Caldwell can shoot 228. Shannon Plahowski can shoot 247.
we just have to wait for our next game to begin. Shouldn't take too long. We'll give you a wide shot here of the Orleans Bowling Center as we wait for our top 8 to come to the featured pairs. And it shouldn't take too long. They are finishing up down on 63 and 64, and that pair is coming to 17 and 18. Liz Johnson, 187. Danielle McEwen, 200. The bowlers on 5 and 6 will be coming to 19 and 20, and they still have 3 frames to go. Once again, we're just waiting for our leaders to come to our featured pairs. Brianna Caldwell, 207. Shannon Plahowski, 233. As we should see them walking down the settee area pretty soon, I would think, unless they come back on the concourse. All right, well, we're waiting to get started with our last game here. Neil Strebel, who is the Managing Director of National Governing Body for USBC, is joining us. Hi, Neil. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. We're getting ready to start the last game here, and
always pretty interesting to see what happens in the last game. Every year it seems like it's pretty fun to watch. It's sometimes a little hard to tell what's going on, but it should be interesting. We know one thing we know for sure. It's that Danielle's going to be the top seed. I think that's a gimme. She's bowled pretty well all week.
Yeah, she's already the points leader and bowling very well again today. So it's I haven't seen this dominant of a performance in many years. So it's good to see out of one of our young players. But the top three, very important. And then, of course, the selections after that. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and just kind of walk us through how many people make Team USA here today, how many people make Junior Team USA, what's the process for this event?
Yeah, we have 3 spots for the men and the women, and so we'll have 3 automatic spots that will take place, and then after that we have 2 selections that will come from team trials or summer team trials, and then after that we have 5 that can be based on the resume. It could be based on performance here at team trials. That's kind of up to the National Selection Committee. And that's the same for men and for women. So we'll have 10 spots given out today for the men, 10 for the women. And then on junior team, we already have 6 and 6 that were given out at junior gold. And we'll have 4 more today for the boys and 4 for the girls, 2 of which are automatic spots and 2 of which are selections based on performance here and or at team or junior gold.
All right, well, we're underway now with Danielle McEwen starting things off here as we've got McEwen, Caldwell, Johnson, and Plahowski on 17 and 18 for the final game. And 19 and 20, they're still finishing up. They're in the 10th frame, so they'll be down here in probably 5 or 10 minutes, I would guess.
Yep.
But we know Danielle's gonna get the number 1 spot, and it's still pretty up for grabs for the other couple of spots. Shannon Plahowski and Liz Johnson were tied at 48 going into Game 5, and Liz only shot 187, and Shannon shot 233. So I think that Shannon is definitely in the better position going into this game to make it, and Liz kind of right on the bubble along with Brianna Caldwell, who shot 207. The players on the other pair not doing so hot today, and they've kind of fallen behind a bit. But in this format, you can move up a lot in the standings, and some of those points can disappear pretty fast.
Yeah, every day is a new day, and so points based on today, have an effect on where everybody's at for the week. And so just because they've been bowling great all week doesn't necessarily mean they're going to bowl great on this pattern. This is Mexico City. This is 45 feet, a lot of volume. It's a tough pattern. And, Danielle and Shannon Plahowski have a lot of experience. They're bowling very well on it. Liz and Brianna, the same. But it might be a pattern that some people just don't match up as well with. And you never know where they might end up. The whole week is based on daily performances and getting points based on your ranking, and you want as little points as possible, lowest points possible, and so high finish every day is critical. And it's just like international competition. Every time you step on to the lanes for a new day, it's a new event. If you win gold medal in singles, you step out there for doubles, it's a new pattern, and you've got to go out there and earn another medal. So it's essentially the same situation we have here.
Yeah, and Game 5, Missy Parkin only shot 174, so I'm thinking that might kind of knock her out. Brittany Hamilton had 259, so Brittany, I think, still has an outside shot, but my gut tells me that our top 3 might come from this pair that we're watching right here. Be my guess.
Yeah, it does look like it's Danielle and Shannon Plahowski. If they maintain some solid games here, they're in really good shape. And then, Liz and Brianna are really looking at the number 3 seed unless Missy or Brittany can come through with a really big game, a really big last game. Ashley Galante is in 5th for today, so she's done well this week. but it's hard for her to move up in points, and she's kind of quite a ways back. So
Yeah, you have to look at kind of what the best case scenario is from a point standpoint. And for example, Brittany Hamilton, if she were to finish first today, her best possible score would be 58. And right now, Plahowski and Johnson are at 48, and Caldwell's at 50. So that's kind of the problem for Brittany, is that she can't get that point total low enough to really, unless she gets some help.
Yeah, what it turns out is what they need is Liz or Brianna to move way down, and instead of getting single-digit points for today, they need to drop to 20th. And based on where we're at, 1 game to go, I just don't see it happening. Got Liz with a double already. Everybody's marking here, so
Especially if these 4 bowlers bowl pretty decent here in this game. That will definitely make it a little bit easier to figure out, I think. If they put up good games here, that'll kind of, we won't necessarily know which of these bowlers have advanced, but we'll know that it'll probably be these 3 of these 4.
yeah. Yeah, because it's always possible that somebody in 5th, 6th, 7th place for the day could shoot 300 and change the numbers around a bit for the day, the points around for the day. But the bowlers we're looking at here are 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 8th for the day. Danielle is 1st for the day. Shannon Plahowski is 3rd for the day. Liz Johnson is 5th for the day, and Brianna is 8th for the day. So their number isn't going to change by much. Nobody's going to leapfrog them as long as they bowl a decent game, as long as they don't drop to 20th. So I agree with you. I think we're looking at the top 3, probably the top 4, and we'll see where we end up here in a few frames.
Well, we should know, I think, a few minutes before they finish this game, the standings after Game 5 would be my guess. They had about a half a game to go when we started this game down on the higher end of the bowling center. And so maybe about frame 8 or so, we might have the standings heading into this game, and that'll give us a little bit better idea of where we stand.
Yeah, we had a breakdown earlier today on one of the lanes, so we've got a couple pairs here that are behind a bit. Danielle with another strike on the left lane. She needs to figure out the right lane. Liz has already got the front 3. She's up looking for the front 4. It's gonna be hard to unset these top 4 here. There's an 8 count for Liz through the face, but out of trouble. They just got to fill frames, get some doubles. This is a tough pattern. 45 feet. It's a lot of volume. It's hard to get the back ends to kick in unless you got some revs. And that's where we're at.
And we're underway now on 19 and 20 with Missy Parkin, Katie Sutphin, Brittany Hamilton, and Ashley Rucker. Like I said, that pair's not bowled great today. Brittany's the best of that group at plus 78. Everybody else is under for the day.
And she's plus 78 after a 259 game.
Yep,
so.
Exactly. That shows you how that pair has been struggling most of the day. Whereas you could just look at the plus minus on the scoreboard. Our top 4 pair, 17 and 18, are all plus, at least
big
42.
Numbers, yeah.
Danielle at plus 175, Plahowski at plus 129.
And also next to us here we have Ashley Galante at plus 60 and Erin McCarthy at plus 12. Some solid players as well. But other than what we have in front of us, the pluses for the day are pretty minimal. Not too many people are on the positive side of 200 on this tough Mexico City pattern.
Yeah, this pattern does tend to play pretty tough, doesn't it? This is one of the harder, I think, of the banks of all the WTBA patterns. I always hear people say Mexico City is probably one of the toughest.
Yeah, overall, on any surface, this is pretty much the toughest pattern. Every once in a while you get to a bowling center where one of the shorts might be the toughest just because the outside couple of boards do not play, and then there's just no man's land. So, depending on the surface, the location, bowling center, other patterns could be play a little bit tougher. But overall, time and time again, this is a tough pattern. You have to play it deep. There's a lot of out of bounds and a lot of volume, a lot of length, and it makes it hard to get some good entry angle into the pocket and get a lot of carry and string a lot of strikes.
Of course, unless your name's Danielle McEwen, who's dominated all week long, and I said the first game this was going to be a tough pattern today, and she came out, shot 300 right away. So, And the video of that last shot of the 300 is available on our USBC Facebook page. We've had every single one of the 300s. We've had the last shot on our Facebook page here this week, and they've been getting a lot of views too. So.
Good work. That's tough to do.
It's hard to run around and get all.
We got 70 lanes here. That's not easy to do when you're sitting kind of on the low side. But yeah, if you'd have told me there's going to be one 300 by the women this week, Mexico City would have been my last choice for the pattern that it would happen on.
Right.
But you never know.
Total of, I think, 10 300s this week, 10 or 11.
The guys had several yesterday.
Yeah, 10 total. 2 yesterday for the guys. So it's been spread out, though. It's not like there were a lot of 300s on one pattern. They were kind of each day. There's been a couple of 300s on the guys' side. And, it's a different pattern every day. So it's not like we're bowling on one pattern and they've been dominating the same pattern every day. It's different people bowling 300, different styles of bowlers, and different patterns every day.
Exactly. So, it's not like you get used to the pattern, you figure it out, after 2 or 3 days, and then you start whacking it. It's, you got a couple of games to figure it out, and then it's a whole new ball game tomorrow. And that's what international competition is all about, and that's why we do it this way at team trials, and that's why this is such a tough tournament to win. And like I said, I haven't seen this dominant of a performance as I've seen by Danielle this week in a very long time. And if it was Shannon Plahowski a few years ago at team trials here.
Yeah, Shannon won the team trials 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And actually Danielle's pretty close to kind of in that area of dominance. She won in 2012, she won in 2013, and now she's leading now in 2015. So, she could win 3 out of 4, and that would be pretty impressive.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely been impressive thus far.
But we'll find out tonight. She still has to make it through the stepladder to be crowned the champion, and that's going to take place tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Bowl TV. Looks like everybody's done with game number 5, so hopefully we'll get standings pretty soon.
Excellent. Yeah, the one, I hate to bowl all week and then you have a one-game roll-off to determine the winner. But the key here is making Team USA, and the top 3 will make Team USA. So the top 3 that are in the roll-off are already on the team.
Right.
The key for the roll-off is, to crown a champion, as well as determine who's going to go bowl the World Cup.
Which is a pretty huge prize, because that's a pretty cool tournament, and it's in some pretty unusual destinations as well, and it's a very fun tournament. That by just that by itself, going to that tournament is worth a couple of $1,000 easy. Easy,
yeah. Not to mention just experience of a lifetime and memories that you can't buy. And yeah, it's been in places just outside of Paris, Johannesburg, and Wrocław, Poland
last year.
So it's been all over. But it's a class event. We're proud to send our champion there, and works out very well for this format.
Well, if you're just tuning in, you're watching the Team USA trials here on Bowl TV. I'm Lucas Wiseman along with Neil Stremmel as we are winding down the women's competition, round 5, as we are waiting to see who is going to advance into the stepladder finals. Danielle McEwen's going to be your top seed. Just trying to figure out who's going to be second and third. And our best guess at this point is that it will be either Caldwell, Johnson, or Plahowski who advance. And we'll find out more information in just a couple of minutes once those standings come in after Game 5. But like I said, they just finished Game 5. So some of them haven't even started Game 6 yet. So it takes a couple of minutes to
Get
pull
those
in those
standings,
scores.
yeah, and we're already in frame 6. This is going fast.
Yeah,
already.
you know, you've got Liz and Shannon on the same pair, and they both are pretty fast.
Yeah.
So
There's-
that doesn't surprise me that they bowled pretty quick.
There's not going to be any rain delays on this
Yeah.
pair.
And I think the pace of play today is faster than it has been all week. They,
Yeah, everybody's getting comfortable and knows what to do and where to go, and you know, and it is a little surprising because on the last day sometimes there's people trying to figure out who's where and what do I need to shoot. But with Danielle's dominant performance, I think there's been a lot less worrying about who's where because they just pretty much know she's on top.
just have this game to go. Brittany Hamilton's got the front three. I mean, I guess there's still an outside shot she could make it in if she can, you know, pop a huge game here. It'd be really tough, but you know, certainly not impossible.
She'd need to make a big jump, and then she really needs help from Liz and Brianna to not fill frames, and that's exactly what they're doing. You know, Liz has a 3-bagger and some filled frames, and Brianna's got filled frames.
All right, looks like we have the updated standings for the day. Danielle's leading at plus 175. Alicia Current at 1144. Shannon Plahowski at 1129. Casey Godel at 1098. Brittany Hamilton moves all the way up to 5th place at 1078. And so here's the standings with one game to go. Overall standings. Danielle McEwen, 26, as we expected. Shannon Plahowski at 48. Brianna Caldwell at 49. Liz Johnson at 52. So it's very close, just 4 points separating those three players. And they are currently ranked 3rd, 7th, and 9th. So there's only 4 points separating them, and they're really close to each other, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens here. And then Brittany Hamilton's at 62 points. And like I said, Brittany can only move up a couple of more spots. Yes. So her max is 58. And so that's looking like it's going to be pretty tough.
She just went through the little high down there on lane 20, so her perfect game opportunity is gone by the wayside.
So it looks like it's Plahowski, Caldwell, Johnson battling for
2 and 3.
2 spots in the semifinal.
Yeah. Right now Liz has just got a double. She started with a 3-bagger. Brianna has not been able to string 2 strikes together yet. Shannon's got a 3-bagger and some filled frames, and she's up right now on lane 17.
Plahowski, 7th frame, whips out the 8-pin.
Trips it. So now she can start stringing a few. Danielle finally struck on the right lanes, and this is what you see out of her. You know, she's striking on the left lane and struggling on the right lane, and usually a little sooner than this, but you know, she figures it out and gets the strike on the tough lane, and now I bet she's going to start stringing them for a few frames here.
And you know, coming into today, Caldwell had 42 points, Johnson had 43, and Plahowski had 45. So they were all within three points of each other coming into this game, which means, or this day, which just shows you how close it was. It shows you how close it is. And I have a feeling we're not really going to know which of the two have made it until after everybody's done, be my guess. Because it may depend on how other people, if the other people jump ahead of them or go below them, then that's really going to impact things.
Yeah, the key will be for for each bowler here to finish ahead of the others, because as people possibly jump into the middle of the mix, it's going to be hard to pass all 3 of them. So, for example, if Liz can pull ahead of Brianna Caldwell, somebody passes them, they'll pass them both or put themselves in the middle. So you want to be ahead of your opponent, which is obviously only logical. But I'd say right now, looking at it, Liz is pulled ahead into 3rd place right now, and Shannon would be second overall.
No question that Danielle's going to be first. There's no way she's going to drop, 20 or 30 spots in one game, I wouldn't think, given that she's plus 175 already. She's just kind of coasting her way to the top seed. Liz really making a run here.
Yeah, she's got 3 in a row. She's definitely pulled ahead of Brianna for the day.
Nice shot by Pluhowski for a double.
And she's 3 points behind overall, 2 points behind for the day. So if she can manage to pull ahead of her, that'd be at least 2 points, and then she needs some help from somebody to squeeze in between them.
Brittany Hamilton, who may not be a factor in making the step ladder, may be an impact player on the final standings.
I'd say the same for Ashley Galante if she can have a decent game here. Brianna strikes, gives herself some opportunity now. A couple more frames to go.
Watching live coverage of the Team USA Trials final game of the women's qualifying here on Bowl TV. Stepladder finals coming up tonight, live at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. You're going to see her later tonight, Danielle McEwen, as the #1 seed. And make sure you go to our USBC Facebook page. We've created an event for the finals tonight. You can join that event, and it'll help tell your friends that you're going to be tuning in tonight. Also, we'll give you a reminder on Facebook right before the event begins. So check that out at facebook.com/USBC.
And Liz's streak comes to a halt there with the 9 count. Gives Brianna the chance to strike out and stay ahead of her.
Yeah. Pinfall doesn't really matter. Total pinfall doesn't matter too much in this tournament other than to break ties. But
right now it matters.
Right now it matters because Caldwell's 15 pins ahead of Liz. And I think my guess is that if Brianna stays ahead of Liz, she's got a pretty good chance to make it in.
Yeah, if she stays ahead of Liz, I believe she will
for the day.
be
Yeah.
in. And if she's behind Liz, she needs for no one to come squeeze in between them to bump up her points versus keeping Liz's points low.
Yeah, and you don't want to have to rely on what somebody else is doing. I'm sure that Brianna knows that she needs to stay ahead of Liz. Or she may not know. They may not have any idea, to be honest. They may not be looking at the standings. A lot of the times players don't look at the standings in situations like this.
Yeah, they just want to bowl well.
They can control their own destiny based on how they throw the ball. It doesn't really matter what anybody else does. Make good shots, probably going to be in good position at the end of the day.
Wow, she gets the double. It's not the way she wanted to get it, but after 30 games, there's going to be some breaks both ways. Yeah, so she has 15 pins ahead, but she's about 30 pins behind this game. She can still make it up in the 10th if she strikes out. Liz opens or
Shannon
does not double.
Shannon wasn't so happy about that 7-pin.
Yeah, that's her favorite pin. I'm sure she's glad to shoot at it again.
Well, she knows how close it is. She probably was hoping she could strike there to put this thing away.
Yeah, she's third for the day, so it's going to be really hard to knock her out of second place. Finished first yesterday, fourth on day 3, so she's been in the top 4 multiple times.
All right, so here's Liz, 10th frame. She can strike out this game. for 246. Brianna can strike out for 228. So if Liz strikes out, she would jump ahead of Caldwell here.
Yep. And it still might not be enough.
May not be enough, yeah, because she's 3 points behind her right now. It's going to depend on what other people are doing that are in the top 10 today.
Yeah,
or
we got to
even
see
top 20.
Exactly. If somebody squeezes in the middle of them, that would give points to Brianna and not to Liz, and that's what Liz needs.
So we're down to the final frame. We'll go back over to the main look here so you can see the scoreboards. Our top 4 are going to finish a half a game ahead of everybody else, it looks like. Bowling pretty quick.
Big shot here for Liz on lane 18.
Yeah, leaves the 9
Leaves
pin.
the 9 pin. A little high.
Well, you know, in this situation, they just got to try to get as much as they can in the 10th frame and just hope it's enough. I'm guessing that's kind of what their mindset is for Caldwell, Johnson, and Plahowski at the end here. Because it's impossible to really know the exact scenario where, you know, hey, if I strike on this shot, I know I've made it. You don't know that because there's a lot of other variables.
True, and I guess that's another advantage of having the finals, the semifinals and finals is, you know, that's the time that you know if you won the event or not. But making sure you get into the top 3 is kind of critical, and yes, you know, confusing with the point system. But if you look it up on bowl.com, you can see the women overall PDF that shows where everybody's at. Right now it's posted through game 5, so you can see that there's not a lot of room for movement between the top 5 overall. Top 5 for the day, top 5 overall.
The final shot there for Danielle McEwen, 203. A great day for her, plus 178. So another fantastic performance for Danielle. She's going to be our top seed this evening for the stepladder.
Yeah, I don't know. Alicia Current's probably the only person that could pass her today.
Shannon with another 7 pin. She's still in great shape, though. She's at plus 129, well ahead of Liz and Brianna Caldwell. So
Yeah, third for the day, and I think she is solidly in second place.
yeah, she's going to be in the 220s this game. So it's going to come down to Liz and Brianna here. Let's see what Brianna does. She can shoot 228. So I think she needs this hit to go around Liz. And this is big trouble. And that may have just opened the door for Liz Johnson to make it in.
Yeah, she's going to finish for the day. She's going to finish behind Liz.
Yep.
Which allows.
And the split actually hurts quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because she could lose a lot of
more
She could
space.
drop a few more spots here, and it's going to be really close, I think. It's going to really depend on other people. I think that in this situation, she's got to give this thing a go. I think she needs to go for it here.
Yeah.
I don't think she can afford to just settle for getting the 1 pin. I mean, it's hard when you don't know the situation. If you knew the situation, you would know whether you needed to go for the count here or go for the split. But I think in this situation, you got to go for the split. So let's see if Caldwell is able to convert it here. 6-7 split.
No, she just
Just gets the
on
pin.
Yep, going for the count. One is 2.
194. And my gut tells me that it's going to be Danielle, Shannon, and Liz tonight. But we'll have to wait and see officially how it finishes out.
That switch between Liz and Brianna this game should be a move of at least three spots, which actually puts them tied.
Yeah, and we can kind of look at the standings for today. Liz is going to go around Brianna.
So Liz will go around several people.
Yep. So that means Liz will probably pick up let's see, if she goes around Brittany, then you know she picks up even more points. Brittany would need to shoot 200 to stay even with Liz for today, 201 to go around her. Brittany looks like she'll probably do that.
She's on pace to do that. Ashley Galante is...
she's right here to our left. She would need to shoot 219.
She's under that. She's
go
had 2
Liz,
opens.
yep. She can only max at 225 this game, so it looks like Liz will jump ahead of her. But it won't matter if Ashley goes underneath Brianna as well. So if she drops below both of them, then it's a wash.
Yeah,
so really there's a lot of different things to look at. I think that it's still not impossible for Caldwell to make it. I think she just made her life much more difficult and stressful here in this in that 10th frame.
Yeah, Liz needs a couple of people to squeeze in between her and Brianna. And literally, I think it is 2 people, because that would be 4 points difference. And the 4 point, she's 3 points behind right now, so.
And the part of the problem is that it's so close in the standings that there's like literally 25 or 30 people that could jump up there.
Yeah, with the big last game.
With the big last game, and so it's really hard to tell because, you know, you've got Brianna coming into this game was at plus 57, and then you have 26th place Josie Ernest at plus 10. So you've got almost 20 people within 40-something pins of where they were at. So a couple of people shoot 240 that are down in the 20s, upper 20s coming into this game, and that would be enough to pop around Caldwell.
Yep. Yeah, it really comes down to being able to get in between the two. The fact that Liz passed Brianna, that's a difference of 2 points right there. So like I said, there needs to be 2 people in between them to make a 4-point difference. And since she was 3 points behind going into this game, that's exactly what she needs.
Take a little bit closer look at 19 and 20 as they're finishing up. I don't think there's any question here that Danielle McEwen is first, Shannon Plahowski is second, and then it will be either Liz Johnson or Brianna Caldwell third. We just don't know officially which.
Correct. So literally we need 2 people to be between plus 51 and plus 78.
Seems like that's a pretty big gap, that 27 pins right there when they're so close.
People ought to end up there.
So I would say it looks pretty good for Liz Johnson to
Agreed.
advance. But we can't say officially.
Yeah, and unfortunately we had that breakdown earlier, so we have quite a few bowlers that are a good 5 frames, 6 frames behind. So that'll push us out a few minutes before we can figure that out.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. We'll stay on the air until we know who the field is for the stepladder tonight officially. That should be about, I would guess 5 or 10 minutes after the last ball, be my guess.
Yeah, Ashley Galante has 3 in a row to the left of us, so even though she was not looking like she was going to be a factor here, she might become a factor if she strings a couple more strikes. Erin McCarthy, same thing. She needs to string a few more, and she's got 2 in a row, and she would need to shoot about a 240 this game. She's on about a 210 pace, so she would really need to throw about 3 more in a row here to have an effect.
We'll just have to wait and see here. Brittany actually is kind of sputtering to the finish here, and she could possibly end up between Brianna and Liz as well if she opened in the 10th or had bad count in the 10th.
Yeah, she pretty much just needs to mark, and she'll be ahead of both of them, which will not help Liz.
But really, there's not a whole lot of motivation for Brittany in the 10th frame because she knows she's out of it, and she probably has no idea what the situation is.
Yeah. You know, I'm really not seeing too many other people that are in that range of plus 51 to
Yeah.
plus 78. We were thinking there'd probably be a couple, but I'm only seeing Ashley Galante and possibly Brittany Hamilton.
And it's hard because there are people who are spread out across the house who weren't near the top of the standings coming into today that are bowling well, who have
Yeah.
a chance. We can start to kind of look at some of them. I'm not sure where Alicia Current is. She's over here. She's going to be well above that number. Casey Godel. Let's see if we can find out where she's at. She's on 38 this game. She's actually done. And she finished at plus 98.
Yep, so she's above both. I just watched Aaron McCarthy go a little high and leave a 4-pin that could have carried, but did not. So that's probably going to put her below both of them. Right now that's what I'm seeing, except for maybe Ashley Galante and Brittany Hamilton.
Natalie Goodman on 59. Natalie can strike out for 2-7. She was at plus 47. She can strike out for 217. That would get her to plus 64. So that would put her in that.
That puts her in the middle.
That spot.
Ashley Galante just went Greek Church, and it's going to be very difficult for her to get to plus 51. Brittany just threw a washout. If she gets that open, she ends up in the middle. In fact, she needs the spare it and strike to stay tied with Liz. So she may end up, looks like she might end up in the middle of the two. So that might be the two possibilities.
Regardless, it seems to be very, very close.
Of course.
And can't say officially just yet.
Ashley got 3 on that Greek Church, and if she strikes out in the 10th, she still will not be able to put herself in the middle of the two. So she won't be helping Liz. Brittany opened, so she will. She did help Liz there. She's in between the two.
Yeah, so Brittany finishes at plus 66.
So I believe we need one other person to be in between those two numbers, and
could be Natalie Goodman.
That puts Liz into the top 3.
Natalie Goodman on lane 59. Could certainly get there. She needs a double. What's she need to get? She needs to get with a higher than plus 51.
51.
51 to 78.
Yep.
So yeah, she doesn't even need a double. Natalie can go strike spare in the 10th for 207, put her at plus 54, down on lane 59.
Yeah, as long as she has decent count, spare and decent count, she'll be fine as well. From Liz's standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. So it certainly looks like the split really cost Caldwell in the 10th frame.
Yeah, it certainly did. It's one of those things where she went Brooklyn in the 9th frame. I think that's got to be something that clues you into making a little more of an aggressive move, and obviously she did not move enough, or she had an errant shot, couldn't tell.
So who do we have that's moved between Liz and Brianna at this point? Brittany Hamilton.
Yep.
That's it that we've seen.
Yep.
Natalie just got 9 on her first shot in the 10th. Yeah, because only 1 point separated Caldwell and Johnson coming into today.
Yeah, I was looking going into the last game, and going into Game 5, there was 3 points separating them.
Shannon O'Keefe can strike out to get to plus 62. She can go
She's got a good game
259,
going, yeah.
and she's plus 3. That's what we're talking about. Somebody who's down far, who bowls a big game to jump around a bunch of people. But Shannon just split.
Wiseman jinx
Of
strikes
course,
again.
never fails, right? Natalie ends up shooting 205 plus 51. Or 52, so one
Just-
pin
yep,
ahead
yep.
of Caldwell.
I think that's
So now you've
all
got
we need. I think that,
Brittany and Natalie in between those two,
yeah, so that's a
and that should be enough.
3 point separation in point total, which definitely moves Liz ahead into third place. So I think that's our finalists there is Danielle McEwen, Shannon Blahowski, and Liz Johnson. And we will see them bowling at 7 p.m. Pacific tonight.
Well, Neil, I know you need to get out of here to make sure we get the lanes done and ready to go for the guys. And
Kind of important.
yeah, I think that, we said it'd probably take a little bit extra time to oil all 70 lanes today because we're putting out the longest pattern, but it's only 11:30. They're about done, so I think pretty close to 1 o'clock, you think, for the start of the guys?
Yep, should be right about 1 for practice.
All right, sounds good, Neil. Thanks, and we'll have you come in for the guys a little bit later on.
Very good, thank you.
All right, Neil Stremmel, Managing Director of NGB for USBC, as we are just waiting for the official results to come in, and we will let you know as soon as we have them. We'll be staying on the air until we have those official results here in just a little bit.
the fifth and final round of women's qualifying for 2015 team trials. We will have results posted shortly for our top three. Top three will start tonight at 7 p.m. After our final matches this evening, we will announce Team USA and Junior Team USA. Everybody is invited to come back and watch the semifinals and final matches. Any men in the building that would like to check in and pick up their recap sheet, please do so in the tournament office. Please pick up your recap sheet in the tournament office.
Attention bowlers, if you have picked up a black storm bag, please check, make sure that it is yours. Bowlers with black storm bags, please check to make sure they are yours. We have somebody missing theirs.
All right, officially we do know who has advanced to the semifinal tonight. Semifinals and final, I should say. Top seed, Danielle McEwen. Number 2 seed, Shannon Pluhowski. And number 3 is Liz Johnson. That is where it stands going into this evening. So it'll be McEwen, Pluhowski, and Johnson tonight on the finals. A good final 3. It starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific tonight, here live on Bowl TV. And as for the Junior Team USA automatic spots, those go, I think unofficially we'll say, J.D. Scott Jones of East Providence, Rhode Island, and Jasmine Mason of Cranston, Rhode Island. Both advancing on to Junior Team USA, the automatic spots for the top 2 youth bowlers in the standings. So again, Danielle McEwen first with 26 points. Shannon Plahowski second with 47 points. Liz Johnson is third at 48 points. And Brianna Caldwell ends up finishing in 4th place at 52. So Caldwell finishes at 52 points. And Caldwell ended up finishing 10th on the day. There were, looks like, 4 bowlers that went between her and Liz, which was to Liz's advantage. And the split in the 10th ends up costing Caldwell 11 pins, 12 pins or so. So it looks like she still would have needed to double in the 10th to have gotten there. So the split, not too devastating. We should have gotten the first hit in the 10th, I guess it would have been enough. But close call for Brianna Caldwell, but comes up just short. So tonight, McEwen, Plahowski, and Johnson in the step ladder. So we're going to go off the air. We'll be back at about 1 o'clock Pacific time with the start of the men's competition.